Hey folks, we're live at the McAllen Convention Center. This is the first day of the South Texas All Hazards Conference, and quite a day it was. As we mentioned earlier, almost 1,600 first responders, emergency managers, things like that, people like that registered for this conference. This is the exhibit hall where everybody came between meetings and after the meetings and for lunch and things like that, and all the equipment that's used to help us out, to help all of us out when the situation gets bad across the valley, and up to the least of which is a hurricane. Of course, hurricane season's, let's say, right around the corner. It begins on June 1st, 2 weeks from tomorrow. We'll get that seasonal forecast we all wait for. That comes out. That'll be actually issued on South Padre Island in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from tomorrow. But hurricane season officially begins on June 1st. So as we showed you earlier, we're 71 days away from who knows what. The hurricane season every year is just a big question mark. But the bottom line is we all have to be prepared because it only takes one. You've heard that before. It's even a hashtag. It only takes one. No matter how many are out there, if one hits you, it was an active season for you. So just start thinking about now what you'll do during the hurricane season. Let's look at temperatures across the valley this afternoon. Readings have been pretty warm again, but not that much different from yesterday. 90 in Rio Grande City at this hour. McAllen's 85. It's 83 in Harlingen. 80 in Port Isabel and Brownsville. Same thing in Raymondville at this hour. Muggy meter shows the dew points are coming up a little bit at this hour. You'll notice that we've come up a little from the past couple of days, but still not bad. We're in the mid 60s, and that's in the the low end of the muggy to very humid stuff, so it's not bad. But when you get into July and August, you're looking at dew points in the mid to upper 70s, so we're not there yet, but certainly more muggy than what you'd expect typically in the middle part of March. The next 3 days, temperatures are going to stay warm. We see very little fluctuation. We go 87, 89, and then Saturday we go up a little warmer to 92. Fronts are going to come by, but not go all the way through, so what that does is it keeps us hot. And without a front coming through, there's no reason for us to cool down. But notice we don't get to the records. The records are 99, 98, and 100. We won't reach those levels. Let's watch future track, see what's going to happen the next few days. And what we expect is that we'll see late night, early morning low clouds, maybe some patchy fog like we saw this morning, but nothing widespread. There you see the stuff, but it burns off by afternoon and sun comes back out. It's windy and it's warm once again. That's tomorrow. Let's go on into Friday. We've been talking all week about that less than 5% chance for a shower on Friday. Well, let's see what the model shows. It says by 5, 6, 7 a.m., not much, 9, 10, 11 a.m., not much, but there it is, that isolated shower that shows up Friday afternoon, a very slight possibility, something. A vast majority, if not all the rain will be north of the valley, but there's that slight chance something could sneak in here. So we're going to watch for that on Friday, and then we're going to Saturday. The front, in essence, washes out. If we watch what happens to it, it tries to push through, but notice it's falling apart as it does. And so instead of cooling off, we actually warm up on Saturday. So the front kind of having a reverse impact on us, just not strong enough to push all the way through, which is somewhat typical. We're getting into late March, before you know it, it's April. And yes, fronts can still come through, but they're not quite the strength that you see earlier in the season. So to the north of us is a warm front. That's why Texas is so warm. That will push out of the region over the next couple of days. And as it does, the front from the west will push in. As we wait for that front, we have a southeasterly wind. That brings in the low clouds. That brings in moisture, maybe patchy fog again late night and early in the morning. But that's about it. Keeps us warm, keeps us windy. Let's go forward into Friday now. Here comes that front. The low that's pushing the front eastward, well, the low is actually lifting off the map up on the top edge of the map. There you see it kind of in there, but it's way to the north. So you see the showers and thunderstorms stretch from maybe Corpus Christi all the way up to Kansas, but mainly north of the valley. That slight possibility something could sneak in here. We're talking a very slight possibility. Move on into Saturday, and the real push of that front way to the north of the valley, it falls apart, even though it still triggers some showers and thunderstorms as it moves across the deep south from Memphis all the way down to about New Orleans. Rain chances, well, let's take a peek. I think we have no rain chance tomorrow. Tomorrow's a very dry day. And Friday, we're just slightly above no rain chance. We're looking at 5% or so. And then Saturday looks dry again, and we stay dry then for a while. Let's see what's going on at the coast today. If you're lucky enough to be headed to the beach, well, let's take a look. In the morning, temperatures start in the low 70s. A little breezy again, southeasterly winds 20 to 25 miles an hour. UV is very high. The rip current risk is moderate. The surf temperature is 73. Tomorrow afternoon, readings top out in the upper 70s. Might touch 80 briefly. Look at the wind, though. Still strong out of the southeast all day tomorrow, even into tomorrow evening. Southeast winds about 19 miles an hour, so count on a breezy day even at the coast. Low tide in the morning 6 a.m. The high tide's 2:53 in the afternoon. Seas are running 3 to 5 feet. The bay is choppy. The bay temperature checks in right now at 72 degrees. So for tonight across the valley, 66 for a low, mainly clear this evening, but then some clouds show up later on. They're low clouds, maybe some patchy fog, but nothing widespread. Still a little bit too much of a breeze for anything really widespread. Then tomorrow we start with those low clouds early, but then by afternoon the sun comes back out. Temperatures climb back up into the upper 80s again. Your average high tomorrow around 87 degrees. Southeast winds about 20 to 30 miles an hour, so yet another windy day across the valley. So the front doesn't come through. Guess what happens to temperatures? They go up. 92 on Saturday, 90 on Sunday, and then we hold at about 90 into the middle part of next week. The only chance for rain we see, only significant chance, is Friday, and I probably overstate with significant. We're talking less than 5%. So if something happens, just consider yourself lucky. For the most part, looks like it's going to be dry over the valley for the next several days. Certainly no hazards to contend with. It looks like all the hazards will stay well away from us. There is potential for some severe weather from the middle of Texas all the way up to Kansas, but we don't see that potential here, at least not anytime soon. But nonetheless, our first responders are getting ready at the South Texas All Hazards Conference. We'll have another update coming up a little bit later on in the newscast. Live in McAllen, Tim Smith, Channel 5 News at 6.